All right, fam. Welcome back to Bath Talks. I'm Evan Woodson. It's great to be back. It's been a while. Been a busy holidays, laying low, under the radar, just the usual shit. Back to reality, doing sober Feb. So pray for me. Should be a good time. Yeah, so I was walking down the street a couple weeks ago, and I always stop, and there's these little like street libraries where you take a book, you leave a book, and I fucking found the first 6 Harry Potter books. I haven't read Harry Potter since I was like grade 7. I'm pretty sure I read like all the books, the whole series in an entire summer. Like I just did not put it down. So enamored. Then I watched the movies, wasn't as good. They never are. But I kind of forgotten how fucking amazing these books are. Because like reading these books, it just transforms me back to my youth. And just like how fucking well written and beautiful Harry Potter is. I absolutely crushed the first 3. Now I'm on the 4th one, which is by far my favorite. So I'm really excited to be on that one. But like, it jumps from like 200, 300 pages to the 4th one being 600 pages. So, and I've decided now that I'm going to review all these Harry Potter books. Today I'm going to do the first 3. And I should be crushing the next couple pretty fast here. So I will be reviewing the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th all separately. But I wanted to start with the first 3 because like the second I started reading the first one, I was just all in again. Forgotten how much I loved Harry Potter. The plot lines, it's outstanding. And the first 2, the second one I absolutely love. The second and the 4th are my favorite. The first one's amazing, it gets you right into the flow of things. All the characters are introduced, Harry's introduced and all that. The second one starts to ramp it up a bit. And it's funny too, because I'm going to focus mostly on the 3rd one. Because I couldn't remember, but for some reason I always thought I hated the 3rd Harry Potter book. And the movie, and I don't know why, because rereading the book, I absolutely loved it. It really starts to get into all these plot lines, and Harry really starts to mature. The wizarding world becomes more and more apparent, and what's going on. You get introduced to all these amazing characters. Lupin is fucking outstanding. Absolutely love Lupin. You get Sirius. You got the Marauders map. And it's kind of like, so the first 2, Malfoy is like, yeah, you just don't like him. He's a dick. He's Malfoy. Whatever. The 3rd one is when I really start to fucking hate Malfoy, and I kind of forgotten how much I actually hated Malfoy in this book because of what happens with Buckbeak, the Cedric's fucking whatever I can't remember what they're called, but you know what it is. They're the horse things, and it attacks Malfoy because Malfoy's provoking it, and then it gets sentenced to death, and Malfoy's just rubbing it in Harry's face the whole time, just being an absolute fucking cock. And it's kind of really when I started to fucking hate Malfoy was in this 3rd book, because it's just like, fuck you, you piece of shit. So yeah, that's when it really develops my hatred for Malfoy is in, because in the first 2, he's kind of just annoying, and he's whatever, he's Malfoy. This is the one where it's really like, yeah, I don't like you. Professor McGonagall. If I had to make one cliff note of this whole series so far, Professor McGonagall is a fucking G. And I've forgotten how good she is in these books, but she's fucking so funny. There's this one, the one in the Chamber of Secrets when Finch's cat gets petrified and Snape's trying to get Harry banned from Quidditch, and she's like, "Oh, come on off it, Siri." Sorry, I can't even do it. "Oh, come off it, Snape. The cat didn't get hit over the head with a broom." And it's just shit like that. Throughout the whole series so far, is just how fucking amazing Professor McGonagall is, how much of a fucking G she is, and how fair she is. Because this is another gripe, like with Snape. It's like, what the fuck? It's like a referee, you know, that just completely favors this one team. Like, all Snape does is take points away from Gryffindor. He harasses the students, you know, he harasses the shit out of Neville, and he favors his own house so immensely to the point where it's like, McGonagall doesn't do that. McGonagall's just fair, she's calm, she's collected, what's right is right. And I also like I wonder how the point system works, because I would love if you could like look up a statistic of like points taken away from, let's say, Gryffindor by Snape. Like, what would be the statistic of like total Gryffindor points taken away and given compared to what Snape has done? Because I feel like, you know, obviously there's other things, but it's like, it's just fucking Snape taking points away from Gryffindor, giving points to his own house. Like, how is that fair? Like, Hogwarts needs to set a precedent in place of like, you know, like if you're like, you should be able to vote. Like, it's like, okay, you know, I want to take away 10 points from Harry. Okay, let's get all the houses together. Let's get Gryffindor, let's get Ravenclaw, let's get Slytherin, let's get Hufflepuff together. Let's make a vote. 10 points from Gryffindor? Okay, it passes, right? You gotta get, you know, 2 out of 2. No, it has to be unanimous, or not unanimous, but it has to be like 3 to 1, let's say. 3 of them houses have to vote yes in favor to take points away. Because it's just like, so Snape can just, because he can just make up any story like, oh, well, Harry and Ron were blowing each other in the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's kind of bullshit, because it's like, how is this fair? How can you just be like, I'm taking points from Gryffindor when, what are the points to be taken? Like, you know what I mean? So I think there should be a house vote to make it more fair, because it's not fair. It's not fair. Another thing I loved about these books, and how I'd totally forgotten about this character, is Oliver Woods. He's the captain of the Quidditch team, you know. He falls in love with Harry, because Harry starts right away as a seeker, you know. Wins them the Quidditch Cup. Not his first year because he gets hurt, but wins them the Quidditch Cup his second year and his third year, I believe. Yeah, his third year as well. But he's just like, it's so fun. He's all about the love of the game. All he cares about is Quidditch. You know, and all he cares about is Harry's well-being, as long as he's good for the team. It's like, you know, is Harry good to go? It's like, if he dies, he dies, you know? That's Oliver Woods. He's just such a great character, because it's just like, he only cares about winning. I fucking love it. And, you know, in his seventh year, in the third book, they finally win the Quidditch Cup. It's just the best feeling ever, because, you know, like, he's just waited 7 years. That's all he cares about is fucking Quidditch. There's this one, like, there's this, like, script in the third one when, you know, they're talking about Sirius Black being on the loose and how they might try to cancel Quidditch. He's like, no, there's no way that Sirius Black could be coming after Harry. Like, all he fucking cares about is that Quidditch is involved. You know, the love of the game. He finally wins. It's fucking amazing. I absolutely love it. And then you get to Fred and George, who you really start to appreciate their greatness and how fucking funny and how clever they are in these books, because it's just like, they're just geniuses. They're absolutely fucking hilarious. They're so much fun. Their friend Lee Jordan, who does the announcing for all the Quidditch, it's like some of the shit he says, but you know, like for example, Lee Jordan, gonna read you a little from the third book here. Harry put on a huge burst of speed, the wind roaring in his ears. He stretched out his hand, but suddenly the firebolt was slowing down. Horrified, he looked around. Malfoy had thrown himself forward, grabbing hold of the firebolt's tail and pulling it back. You! Harry was angry enough to hit Malfoy, but he couldn't reach. Malfoy was panting with the effort of holding onto the firebolt, but his eyes were sparkling maliciously. He had achieved what he wanted. The snitch had disappeared again. Penalty! Penalty to Gryffindor! I've never seen such tactics! Madam Hooch screeched, shouting up to where Malfoy was sliding back into his Nimbus 2001. You cheating scum! Lee Jordan was howling into the megaphone, dancing out of Professor McGonagall's reach. You filthy cheating! Professor McGonagall didn't even bother to tell him off. She was actually shaking her fist in Malfoy's direction. Her hat had fallen off too, but she was shouting furiously. It's just like, fuck. Oh, it's so funny. Like, oh man, what a time. Anyways, having an absolute blast reading these books, and just how great they are. And that's all I got. Yeah. I'm gonna come back with the fourth one when it comes out, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I'll be trying to start getting back to putting out episodes, twice or three times a week. Just talking about whatever random shit pops into my head. So you can find me on Instagram at Woodrow the Player, TikTok at BathBoy24. I do a bunch of bath talks. So check me out, guys, and thanks for subscribing.